So hi guys! Welcome to another podcast. And for today's topic is a bit like close to my heart. Close to my heart. But today's topic is a bit sensitive. It's about being the parentified daughter, the independent one, the one that is like on the outside, they look like parang hindi nila kailangan ng tulong, acting all independent and mature, but on the inside, is a child, is a kid, wanting for attention. Kasi I always feel like that all the time whenever I'm in my own home, even though I know that this scenario applies mostly for the eldest daughters, but I'm the youngest one, only girl pa, so I feel it so deeply. And I think na kasi this thought actually rooted from something that happened during the New Year's Eve, so the start of the new year. And I'm not gonna delve into the details too much, but what happened there kasi is that nasa province ako, and then I'm with my cousins, my favorite cousin, and then we had a talk. Kasi ang nangyari dun is like parang yung fireworks nilabas kasi nung tito ko, yung lola ko, and she's kind of disabled na, she can't walk on her own, so ayun, with wheelchair. And syempre New Year's Eve nagpuputukan, and may mga bata na malapit sa tabi namin nila pala, kasi we were, both of us, me and my cousin, kasi we were taking pictures. We were at the balcony of their house. And then nakita namin dun yung mga bata nagpa-fireworks sila. So, syempre, sige, siguro, okay naman. But then, unexpectedly, yung last firework na inano nila, pumalya. Malapit doon yung lola ko. So, natamaan siya. The very, very, very good thing is the please lang yung nangyari sa paa niya. And she said na she felt nothing daw when it happened. But still, it was so freaking scary at that moment. Especially nasa taas kami. Kitang-kita namin what exactly happened sa labas from up there. And then, it escalated so quickly. Pinasok agad nila si Lola, and tinignan, medyo tumubo ng onte, may sugat, and all that. And tanong ng tanong yung cousin ko, which is anak ng tito ko na yun, na matanda na, ata 22, 21, I don't know. But he already graduated from college just last year. Tinatanong, ano nangyari, ganyan. And yung tito ko, nakainom. So like parang they were not in a heated argument, I can say, because it's not one-on-one. It's more of one-sided. Kasi genuine concern yung pinapakita ng cousin ko. But then, yung tito ko naman, bigla na lang siya nagalit, ganyan. Sabi niya, nakita mo naman, di ba? Natamaan, ganyan. And then, nagalit siya. And in a nutshell, parang pinoject na yung galit niya dun sa anak niya. And good thing na etong favorite pinsan ko is very matured, even though she's the youngest. Dalawa lang kasi sila. And ayun, we attended to our lola, tinay namin gamutin, and then galit na galit. It almost, like, I swear, I hated that feeling na parang, may sasabog. Like, parang bomba ba yung galit. I really, really hate that. especially when you grow up in a household na ganun, na expressing your emotions has to be, expressing your emotion feels like you have to be mad every time, you have to be angry, everything, ganun. So, ayun, nung nakaluwag-luwag na ganyan-ganyan, umiyak yung, natulog yung yung tita ko. And maya-maya, chinchat namin si Lola, of course, time to time, to know if she's okay. Thank God na lang, tapos lang yung nangyari sa paa niya kasi it could have been worse, you know. But then yeah, ayun, umiyak yung tito ko after that. I don't know, minutes ago or an hour ago. Sabi niya kasi nasaktan daw yung mama niya, yung nanay niya, ganyan, and all that. And we saw how angry he was, how mad he was, how he is projecting his anger towards his son and to everyone around him, especially. And ayun, and then tinanong ko yung cousin ko na girl, yung favorite cousin ko naman siya. Then I asked her na buti during those like situations, sobrang hindi naman sobra, but she knows how to handle the situation calmly without like being too overbearing or nakikisabay sa galit ng iba. And I really admire that from her at that moment kasi ang hirap nun, especially when you're the youngest, you feel so many emotions. And we had this like deep talks talaga, one-on-one talks about our parents, about how they grew up as a like passive-aggressive adults. And I don't know, I really don't get it, but as a daughter of one, sinay-ko-analyze namin siya actually kasi ang daming trauma. Honestly, like, ang daming trauma ng mga parents namin. They grew up poor and all that. They had to work endlessly to get what they had. To get what they have now. And for that, I'm of course, like, I'm proud of them. But then, as daughters talaga, sinay-ko-analyze namin siya. Then we came to this conclusion na, ayun, because they were life was so poor and unkind to them. They had to work their literal ass off every minute, every hour just to go to school. Even thinking about it, umiyak pa kami sa isa't isa kasi even thinking about our parents being kids and having to be forced to work as a kid, you know, is such a like heavy thing to ponder upon, you know. Kasi ayun, because life was not kind to them. They didn't have the time to process everything around them, like growing up in an abusive household, you know, financial problems, madami din sila magkakapatid, so it's very very hard, you know. But of course, who am I to like say like everything else? Syempre hindi ko naman experience yung point of view nila, but like our conclusion is that yeah, they didn't get to actually process all of their emotions, all of their problems, all of their trauma, so it piled up until they grow up. They have money na, they can provide, you know, they already have families to provide to. And when that kind of responsibility, yung family got projected onto them, like parang it's a heavy responsibility kasi, you know, ayun, like parang doon lumabas yung mga unresolved issues nila. You know, as a child, as an adult, as a teen. Kasi, you know, as I kept on saying na, they grew up poor. And then, when you grow up poor, I think it's inevitable no once you get your adult money, you will be materialistic. I swear. And yeah, and kung materialistic ka as a parent, it suddenly becomes like a form of love language in a way na is kind of toxic. Kasi emotion, as much as a materialistic person do I love money, guys. Just be clear. But providing like stuffs and money is not technically money, but material things as a form of love, as a form of apologizing, a way of saying sorry without actually communicating the root of the problem or whatever escalated in the problems is kind of not idealistic, not ideal, not an ideal parenting style. Kasi ayun na napag-usapan namin ng cousin ko, because they already have what they want now, dati, na hindi nila kayang mabili and everything. Yeah, I think that's sadly and unfortunately became their way of saying I love you, sometimes of saying I'm sorry sometimes. And then yeah, I just really hate it when like parang, I don't know, of course being grateful sometimes is very important, but then shoving what you owe to them to your face, what you supposedly owe to them to your face, when you didn't ask to be born or any of this in the first place, or even participate in this world in the first place, is kind of off-putting in a way. And yeah, and ang galing nga kasi although that convo was very dramatic for us, we tried to be empathic. We used empathy as our way out of that topic and tried to understand our parents better. But then, ayun, looking back, it's just so sad na, ayun, like parang yun yung naging generation natin. That's why most of us don't know how to show love properly, or when we are shown actual love or real love, we are scared to experience it. Kasi if you continuously walked on eggshells around the first people that is supposed to show you what love is like, you know what real love is like, which is of course first the family. If you have walked on eggshells around their anger, around their abusiveness in a way, you kind of get in the same circle as them, not in a way na being like them, but in a way na you kind of adapt the results of those traumatic experiences, and it shows up in little ways. Like legit, I can literally make whole essay about how your household, the way you grow up, literally influences how you act, think, look at yourself, view the world right now. Like, ang massive ng effect niya sa atin. And of course, we can rewire our brain. We cannot undo the damage, but I really hate it na it's our responsibility to heal, even though we did nothing to cause it. But yeah, it's true, it's our responsibility to heal so that we don't project that kind of experience to other people. It's on breaking the cycle, sabi nga nila. Pero, ayun, it's just a thought that has been going around my mind lately, and I have to pour it out. Kasi ang ganda nung talk namin talaga ng pinsan ko. Those are the kind of moments that I really, really treasure. Like yung deep talks, ganun. So that is how you can really get to know the person. So ayun, growing up as passive-aggressive adults who don't know how to handle their emotions, that didn't teach you how to communicate properly, na being materialistic is their way of saying sorry for everything, and then moments later shoving up into your face na you owe it to them. The utang na loob mindset, we actually had a research about it nung senior high school. Ayun, it suddenly becomes a transactional relationship na more than just a relationship to begin with. Nagiging transactional na siya. Like, kapag binigay ko sa ito, ibibigay mo sa akin to. Which I think is a bad example of what love is, or what parental love should be. Kasi ayun, na-remember ko lang siya bigla. We interviewed this parang relative ng friend ko and ka-groupmate ko with that research that time. And sabi niya, yung tumatak talaga sa akin, would it be love if it's calculated? Like, kunwari, you know the Lady Bird? The scene where parang sinasabi ni Saoirse, ang ganda ng cool nung name niya, but I don't know how to pronounce it. But Saoirse, basta, siya, yung girl. Sinabi niya na parang, give me a number, while in the middle of an argument with her mother. Give me a number, and then I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna make that money, and I'm gonna give it to you. Like, yung money na yun, yung mga days na pinalaki mo ko, give me a number so that I can give it back to you, so that I don't owe you nothing. It is a perfect example of what transactional relationship feels like. And it became, in our generation, like, most families, like, yung parang making their children as retirement plans and everything, especially the eldest ones. Yung sinasabi nila in gatherings na, wala ka bang anak? Sinong mag-aalaga sa'yo kapag tumanda ka na? Right? Like, ang ano niya, like, no! It's not supposed to be like that. It's not unconditional love if it has to be calculated, if it has to be like sabihin sa face mo every time na you make a mistake na you owe me this, you owe me this, you owe me your life, ganyan. I hate it. I really, really hate it. And one of the few things, inevitable things na could actually result from it, from always walking on eggshells around your family, in your household, is that you suddenly become a people pleaser. People say na ang pangit maging people pleaser, but gosh, guys, you don't know how hard it is to stop it. Kasi when you grow up trying to when you grow up in a very chaotic household, like sigawan, ganyan-ganyan, like parang people are like bombs. Like, parang isang tok lang, sasabog na sila, ganyan-ganyan. You try to like parang shrink yourself in so that you don't feel emotions. So kapag sasabog sila, hindi ka sasabay. Ganun, like parang you try to adjust your feelings for the sake of the other person. And honestly, I unconsciously do it almost every day in my day-to-day life. Like mga basic interactions lang na I have to tiptoe around people, especially if they're in a bad mood. Tapos kapag when I meet someone new or interact with someone na bago, tapos after that interaction, parang mapapaisip, like there's a thought in my head na shit, like did I say something wrong? Ganyan, or was I good in that conversation? Did I talk enough? Did I didn't talk enough? You know, those are the lingering thoughts na sometimes I do unconsciously have whenever I try to socialize with other people. And yeah, I low-key hate it because the self-awareness is kicking in. And ayun, I think that's just it. Ayun, it's very hard to come out of the shell if you are that kind of the parentified son or daughter, the breadwinner, or simply even kahit you experience being in a traumatic household. It's so hard. And as an adult, I always feel this sense of pressure na because of everything that I've been through, and I'm already in an age where it's getting a bit serious na. I'm 20, turning 21, na I have to be something already, na I have to be this, or that. So many unrealistic standards na I set for myself in a way, and it's kind of suffocating, and I don't recommend it. No, kasi it's when your expectations your expectations don't get to meet reality. It's a disappointment. But yeah, that's it for today's podcast. And what I can only say is na if you are this like anak, the odd one out, shut up. Pero if you feel this as a daughter or a son, and as a human being, you are not alone. We live in this generation full of adults who don't know how to be a parent, who don't know how to show or express their love. It's very suffocating in a way. Pero ayun, I hope na the things that you hate or you see by it. Because remember, you are your own person, you know? You are your own before anyone else's, okay? So, even though kahit ano naman age, it's always not too late to start again and to try. If you don't know how to communicate, if you don't know how to show your love, if you're an avoidant girly like me, then set your resolutions, New Year's resolutions to be open for love, try to socialize with people more, different kinds of people. That's important kasi of course their life experiences are different, and who knows, you might get some wisdom sa kanila. And ayun, be open for a relationship even though the last one scared you to death. Try again, you know. Try to show your love, express your love in a way na is genuine, you know. Always try to come out of your shell. Kasi walang mangyayari if fear is always holding you back, you know. And if you fail man, then congratulations, kasi most people don't even try, you know. They just don't even try. And if you fail, or if you failed in the past, then it's an evidence that you tried, you know. You tried your very, very best. I saw this quote from Pinterest na oh my god, I forgot. But like, a museum of failures or a gallery of trying. Oh my god, correct me if I'm wrong, pero I don't remember it clearly. But yeah, I think this podcast is getting so long, and I've been yapping I don't know how many minutes straight. But yeah, I hope you guys are okay. January is ending near na, so I hope na you've been consistent to your goals, to what you believe in, and that you're doing the things that you love. So yeah, bye-bye.